Hi guys, welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to talk about some of my brutal, actual, unpopular K-pop opinions. But first, please subscribe for crystal clear skin and more K-pop content. Warning, these are just my opinions, not facts. If you don't like listening to other people's opinions, please leave. I'm sorry.
So some of the opinions will have the robot voice cause I didn't record them, sorry. Without further ado, let's start.
Crazy ancient fandom rule. If you don't like something, then don't follow it. If you don't like a group, don't keep up with them. Mute them, block them. I don't know, this just seems to be like a super hard concept for some people, because there are people who actively look for groups to just hate on them. And it's like, that can't be me. If you don't like a group and you are completely sure that they will never release something that you will like, then instead of getting mad over things that they do, then just don't look them up. Just don't follow them. Just don't check out their comebacks. Mute them, block them. Every time something of that group appears on your tail, block them, mute them. I don't know, unfollow people. But it seems like people just actively want to get outraged. So I think first I need to preface that without the staff, the idols wouldn't be as big. The staff takes care of them, gives them their looks, styles, make their music, film their MVs, choreograph the dances, and so much more. Very few groups can do all of these things by themselves. So I know that as fans we're not supposed to stand these people, but we should at least respect them for their hard work. I hate how K-pop fans are normalizing harassing their fave staff. You can critique their work, but actively sending them hate on social media just doesn't sit well with me. They're just trying to do their job, but a lot of the times they're just following the company's instructions, and also fans hype their faves for things they don't do, like makeup and styling. But when it's bad or it's not your taste, you bash on the staff. That is something that is so prevalent in a lot of groups. You'll be praising the song, praising the MV, praising everything, and saying, oh, your fave did this, your fave did that. But the moment it's bad, it's obviously all on the staff. And it's just so, it's like, so exaggerated. So this is a weird opinion. So I don't really like or understand the who owned each era videos. They're not my type of video because it seems very subjective. Like, is it who suits the concept more, or who had the most center time? It seems like everybody has their own like different type of, you know, categories. I don't know, it seems like everybody has a different, like, I'm not saying that everybody should use the same, you know, require. I feel like people mostly choose their faves. I mean, usually when these people do the who owned each era, they usually get their faves most of the eras and just, you know, try to get the rest of the other groups, other eras, just try to not like make it look bad. Again, this is very subjective. I'm just saying that I don't get these videos. I'm not saying I completely understand that they're for fun. I'm just saying that I probably wouldn't make it because I don't really see the point of it. But I do think that it's like a cute thing, but I just don't get it. This is mostly a pet peeve of mine. It seems a lot of people confuse terms or are not really informed about the topic. So lyricism is writing the lyrics of the song, composition is the melody, while producing is the beats of the song. Basically, what I want to say is that just because your fave might have written lyrics a few times, it doesn't mean that they can produce their whole album by themselves. I always see fans, especially when they start hating on producers because they don't like the producer's work or they want them to work for someone else, usually have like, oh, let's just let our faves make their own music. But usually when they say this, their faves have almost like zero like experience in production, or oh yes, I totally want my faves to make a thing, and I just feel like it comes off as very like, I'm not saying that it's bad that you want to make your idols do more music, but it comes off as very naive because they always say, oh, and someone said, well, I don't think that they'll be able to produce it. They're like, oh, but they wrote a song, and it was basically like lyrics for a B-side, and it's like, writing lyrics and producing isn't the same. So it's not that it's a bad thing, and I'm saying that people are saying it's dumb. I'm just saying that it's like a kind of pet peeve of mine of people thinking that lyricism is the same thing as production. Or people will say, oh, my fave produced their whole album track, and they might have just wrote in the rap for the song. You can see them in the credits that they're just, you know, credited as a lyricist. They're technicalities, but I do think that obviously it goes in the whole realm of hyping them up. Okay, so this is a really personal opinion. I've always found V-Lives boring. I just can't get through them. I usually only watch them halfway through before I get really bored. Like, it's mostly the ones where the idols are just talking. I just find them extremely tedious because it's mostly the idols reading the same say hi to X country and the same questions. I feel the same way about Instagram lives. I just kind of find it pointless to watch them because regardless if I'm interested in them or not, some fans will just cut out the best parts for compilation videos here on YouTube or upload the clips on Twitter. I only really like V-Lives where the idols are doing something else or are playing games, so I don't mind when my faves don't do V-Live. I don't really care if they do V-Live because again, they're not interesting to me. Like, I used to try to sit through a 20-minute video of my fave eating ramen, talking about their life, and I just got bored. So this could be a whole video topic in itself. Would you guys be interested if I made a series talking about like these little extra topics and giving them like their full video? I've reached the conclusion that positions are important to fans and pointless in other cases. Positions are important to fans to identify the members, and it also establishes rules that the members have to follow. It creates a sort of unspoken of set of expectations fans will have for these members. And it's pointless because if a company really followed the positions like they were law, it just ends up becoming extremely rigid. It makes it really hard for experimentation in part of the musical side and also another aspect. An example of this would be if a song suits a lead vocal more than a main vocal. Because of vocal tone reasons, they should probably give the lead vocal more of the lines. But if we're going to follow the positions, especially as rigidly as K-pop fans seem to follow them, then they shouldn't because she isn't the main vocal. If they give more lines to the lead vocal, then what about the main vocal, which is then when the complaints, come about. Also, a few issue that I find with a lot of the position scenes is a lot of these positions are given at debut and don't change when the group themselves goes through a lot of change throughout the concept. No group is the same they are when they in debut. Other members can improve their skills. Positions are more important to the fans, but fans use positions as a way to sort of according to the agenda they want to go with that day. If they can use the position agenda to scream that they can downplay mismanagement or to cry mistreatment. If the song didn't suit the main vocal but she's the main vocal, then she's the main vocal. She deserves more lines. Positions are way more important to the fans than they are to the actual group and to the company. Again, this is just my theory, but just what I've seen. Fans usually are way more invested into positions when there are, and even I feel like the whole no position thing is a whole nother video in itself. But TLDR, the no position thing is basically one way companies to get away with this, but they still always use positions, so I find the no positions thing kind of pointless. Experience. K-pop fans are they act more solo stan-ish than they think they are. So a lot of K-pop fans say that they're biased or that they, stan the whole group and everything, but going back with the whole mistreatment opinion, when they perceive that their bias isn't getting the most, they suddenly don't care about the other members and will easily drag them all despite loving them just to make their fave get better, just to make their fave look good. And the worst part is that these fans are usually the ones who are constantly OT4, OT5, OT7, OT8, but they're the same ones too. The moment they feel that their bias is threatened or anything, they become they don't care about the rest of the group, they just care about their faves. So in my opinion, they have more solo stanish behavior, but they don't want to admit it. Because as a community, we've sort of made solo standing a bad thing, when in reality we want to make ake behavior a bad thing. I feel like you can be responsible, be a mature person to solo stand, just that we're so used to seeing so much ake's. Now, if you don't know what an ake is a toxic solo stan. It's those fans that basically want the member to leave the group and to just, be by themselves. A lot of these K-pop biased fans and OT fans are more biased, are more solo stany than they think they are. Or they come off as very solo stanish. Like I said, if you're willing to throw all the other members under the bus just because of your main fave, then I don't think you really care much about that group than you say you do. Just saying. Warning, this might turn into a rant, and a big rant. Their opinion, K-pop fans complain way too much. Going back to all the things about mistreatment and everything, basically because I already talked about it, K-pop fans complain about every single little thing, and it just gets annoying. It's just annoying. It's just constantly negative vibes, negative attention, negative everything, complaining about every single thing. And I can understand if the complaints are things that are valid complaints, the things that actually make sense. For example, if you think the company isn't giving your group enough variety of opportunities, okay, that's a valid complaint. Or you think the company should give so-and-so a YouTube channel, okay, that's a valid complaint. But complaining over every single thing and every day, some fandoms, that's all they do on Twitter. That's all they do on everything. Complain about hair colors, complaining about makeup, complaining about music, complaining even over the producers, complaining over choreographers. It's like K-pop fans want to, I feel like, here's the thing that I've never understood though. You are standing human beings, right? You're always remembering that idols are human. Idols are human too, because they are. But you want to basically control, and you feel entitled, because you're the consumer, you feel entitled to control every single little aspect of their career, because of course you made them, and so you feel entitled to control the life of every little thing these humans do. I mean, the manager stands nowadays are just exaggerated amount. Like, it's not like a little staff and manager fans. No, a lot of fans feel entitled to choose which concepts suit their fave members more, even if the same member or same idol will say, well, I don't like doing these concepts, I prefer doing other concepts. But the same fans will be like, no, you suit these concepts, so you have to do this concept. Or the group can say, oh, we really like doing this song and we really like working with this producer. No, you can't work with that producer. You have to work with this producer because you need to get big in the general public. And if you don't get big in the general public, then you're not going to become famous. So you have to do this. I feel like a lot of fans seem to think that they know better than the company, that they know better than their fave, and that they really think that of course, it comes from a place of love and everything. But it just comes to a point where the complaining becomes sort of into entitlement, and it becomes sort of very demanding. And it's no longer complaining, you're just demanding things. And it's constantly demanding. I don't know, but I just feel like it's become worse. Like, you can't go into any fandom without a lot of fans complaining and demanding a lot of things over the company and over their own idols. What I want to say is that nowadays they're even demanding things from the idol, like demanding you have to go on Be Live, you have to open a YouTube channel, you have to do this, you have to upload this. You want them to rest, but at the same time you want them to constantly update you on what they're doing. And it's like, I just think it just gets so annoying, and I'm very negative, and I know that there's nothing going to change it, and I don't know if it's quarantine, but I just feel like this year has been the year of K-pop fans complaining and demanding things.
Fake mullets. I don't like mullets, but they look good on some people. But do you know something I just can't get behind? Mullet extensions. I really hate those, they always look so weird and awkward, just no. They look stiff and weird. I know, weird opinion. International fans are just as bad as K fans. Obviously I am not talking about every fans, just the ones that do these stunts. I fans love to cry about how crazy and possessive the Korean fans are. And I can't help but just laugh at the lack of self-awareness. I fans are just as bad, if not worse, than K fans. They think they own their faves, get jealous over Korean promos, wanna control their faves, dox others, body shame thin idols, and so much more. But only K fans do that, right? Sarcasm. Shipping underage idols. As a community we always love to talk and hate on shipping. Especially the blackpink shippers. On how cringy and delusional they are. But you know what actually creeps me out? People shipping underage idols together and being very weird about it. An example of this is the Yuna x Huening Kai shippers. Like, the amount of videos of this ship is concerning. The views. I even saw people shipping Haruto and Wonyoung, like, why? Not everyone has to change concept. It's self-explanatory, not every group has to do a 180 of concept every comeback. Some groups have niche concepts and their fandom appreciates it. Overall, changing concepts every comeback doesn't help unless you're a big group with a big fandom. Nowadays fans are obsessed with versatility and concept switching, and honestly not everyone has to do it. If a group wants to do it, cool, but if they don't, that's also okay.
Those were all my opinions for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please comment your unpopular K-pop opinions. If you enjoyed this video, if you enjoyed me ranting and just, spouting nonsense, like this video, comment in the comment section down below, and subscribe for more K-pop content. Please remember to stay safe, stream your faves, and I'll see you next time. Bye!